On October 3, 1984, 9-year-old Christine Jessop vanished from her quiet town of Queensville, Ontario, while her family was away visiting her incarcerated father. Christine was left alone, thought to be safe at home. Tragically, that afternoon marked the last time anyone would see her alive. This is the case of Christine Jessop. Reflecting on the events, it is clear that a misguided decision made in an attempt to protect a young girl ultimately backfired in the worst possible way. On October 3, 1984, in Queensville, Ontario, 9-year-old Christine Jessop was left home alone while her mother and older brother visited her father, who was incarcerated at the time. Christine was too young to visit him in prison, so her family believed this arrangement was for the best. Tragically, this would be the last time anyone saw Christine alive. When her family returned home that afternoon, they discovered Christine was missing. Panic ensued, and the once quiet town transformed into a frantic search party, with neighbors, friends, and local authorities joining forces to find the 9-year-old girl. For 3 agonizing months, there was no sign of Christine. Then came New Year's Eve. Several hundred volunteers and police scoured a 30-square-mile area near Newmarket, north of Toronto. The search was massive, with the entire town coming out to help. On the last day of 1984, Christine Jessop's body was discovered in a desolate farmer's field in Sunderland, about 30 miles from her home. She had been brutally assaulted and stabbed to death. The grisly details of the crime demanded justice, leading to Guy Paul Morin. Morin, a 23-year-old quirky and soft-spoken neighbor who enjoyed playing the clarinet, was thrust into the spotlight of the investigation when Christine's mother accused him of having an inappropriate interest in her daughter. Suddenly, the once quiet neighbor became the prime suspect. However, there was little real evidence to connect him to the crime. Unfortunately, the investigation suffered from tunnel vision, poor forensic science, witness misstatements, and rushed conclusions. In 1986, Morin stood trial for the first time, but the jury, confused by a mountain of questionable evidence, acquitted him. The Crown, however, was not satisfied, leading to a second trial in 1992, 8 long years after Christine's murder. This time, Guy Paul Morin was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Morin's story was far from over. A growing wave of public support, led by the Justice for Guy Paul Morin Committee, refused to let him languish in prison without real evidence against him. As it turned out, Morin did not commit the crime. The fight for his exoneration intensified in 1995, and after 10 years of anguish, DNA evidence emerged, conclusively proving Morin's innocence. "It's wonderful. It's about time," he said. "I know I didn't do it. I did not kill Christine Jessop. It's as simple as that. DNA has exonerated me 100%. On January 23, 1995, he was officially exonerated, and his case became a turning point in how Canadian law enforcement approaches wrongful convictions. However, for the Jessop family, there remained no answers regarding who killed young Christine. Fast forward to 2020, and advancements in genetic genealogy allowed new investigations to link DNA from the crime scene to a man named Calvin Hoover, a name buried in the original case files. Hoover had been a friend of the Jessop family and someone Christine had trusted. He knew the family's plans on the day he abducted her. Disturbingly, Hoover had even participated in the search for Christine after her disappearance, hiding in plain sight, and chillingly, he had never been questioned by police. In 2015, Calvin Hoover chose to end his own life, taking any secrets he held with him to the grave.